It was a quiet, windy evening when 17-year-old Michael moved into his grandfather's old Victorian house in Redfield. The house had stood untouched for years, its paint cracked, windows clouded with grime, and the attic sealed tight with rusted nails and time-worn boards. Michael had come to help renovate it, but something about the place felt unsettled. On his third night, as the wind howled through the trees, Michael lay awake staring at the ceiling, then faintly whispered. Not voices from outside, not the wind, but a hushed, trembling murmur directly above him. It stopped the moment he sat up. Curious, he pulled down the attic ladder the next morning. Dust burst into the air. The attic was cramped and cold, filled with boxes and broken furniture. But nothing seemed out of place except a small, old, rocking horse in the corner. It was facing the wall. Something about it made him shut the attic quickly and vow not to return. That night, the whispers came again. This time, louder, clearer. They weren't just whispers. They were calling his name. Michael, come play. His blood ran cold. He bolted up and flipped the lights on silence. But each night, it got worse. Footsteps overhead, a child giggling softly, shadows moving where no one should be. Michael tried recording the sounds, but playback revealed only static and once. Bit a single voice. You shouldn't be here. Desperate, Michael called a local historian who told him the house once belonged to a couple whose child disappeared. In the attic, her body was never found only. The rocking horse was left behind. That night, he returned to the attic with a flashlight. The horse was no longer facing the wall. It was pointed right at the ladder, as if waiting for someone. Plong the floor, written in the dust, in small, childlike letters. Play with me. Michael never slept in the house again. He packed and left the next morning. But even now, months later, he sometimes hears it on stormy nights when he's alone. A soft voice behind his ear, whispering his name. The cabin stood on the edge of a frozen forest in Fairbanks, Alaska, secluded, surrounded by towering black pines and buried beneath endless blankets of snow. At night, the silence pressed down like a weight. No neighbors, no streetlights, just the flickering glow of the fireplace and the distant howls of the wilderness. It was the kind of isolation most people ran from. Bar for 19-year-old Daniel. It was peace, or so he thought. He had moved into the cabin to focus on his art, hoping the silence would help him escape the noise of the world. But after 2 weeks, the silence started to whisper back. It began with subtle changes. His sketchbook, always left closed, suddenly opened to pages he didn't remember drawing. Dark, jagged shapes filled them. A tall, faceless silhouette standing in the woods. Always the same. Always watching. Then came the tapping. Just after midnight, Daniel heard a light tapping at the living room window. Rhythmic, persistent. He approached slowly, heart bet outside. Only the trees stood still. In the snow, no footprints, no animal tracks. Just that eerie emptiness. The next night, the tapping returned, but at the back door. This time, by the third night, Daniel was no longer sleeping. The figure had started appearing in real life, not just his sketches. A tall, human-shaped shadow, but didn't move like a person. It stood just at the edge of the tree line, motionless, even in the wind. He tried shining a flashlight at it. Nothing. The beam passed through like fog. One night, desperate and exhausted, Daniel set up a motion camera outside. The next morning, the footage chilled his blood. At exactly 2:46 a.m., the camera glitched for 2 seconds. When it resumed, the lens was cracked from the inside. That night, Daniel locked every door, lit every lamp, and sat on his bed, gripping a fire poker. Hours pass. Silence. Then he heard it. Slow, dragging footsteps in the hallway, inside the cabin. But when he opened the door, nothing, except for his sketchbook, now lying on the hallway floor. The latest page showed the shadow figure standing over a sleeping man. It was him. Daniel fled that night. He never returned. And yet, wherever he's closer, clearer. No face, no name, no reason. Just a shadow getting closer. Jacob lived alone in a modest one-bedroom apartment in Bismarck, North Dakota. His life was routine to the point of monotony. Wake up at 6 a.m., coffee by 6:15, leave for work at 7 o'clock. He always kept things in order keys, in a bowl by the door, phone charger on the nightstand, and most importantly, his grandfather's watch on the dresser. The watch was old, but elegant silver, with a cracked leather band and a quiet ticking that filled his bedroom at night. It was the only thing he had left from his grandfather, who had died mysteriously in that same apartment 10 years ago. One cold Monday morning, Jacob woke up as usual, but the watch was gone. At first, he assumed he'd misplaced it. He checked under the bed, behind the dresser, in every drawer. Nothing. It was just gone. The strange part, nothing else was touched. The charger was where it always was. His wallet, his laptop. Only the watch had vanished. He retraced his steps, searched his laundry, asked co-workers. No one had seen it. By the third day, he began to feel off. The air in the apartment felt heavier. The silence felt too loud. At night, he started dreaming of ticking. Loud, echoing, mechanical ticking. By. And every time he turned around in his dreams, someone was standing just outside his field of vision, watching, waiting. The apartment began to change, subtly. His hallway light would flicker at 3:15 a.m., sharp every night. The bathroom mirror once showed his reflection, lagging a half-second behind him. And always, that lingering sensation of not being alone. Then came the scratching, faint at first, from inside the walls, like fingernails dragging along the drywall. Jacob called. Minton's. Nothing was found. But the noise never stopped. On the 7th night, he woke up suddenly to silence. Not a single sound. No cars outside. No wind. No pipes. Just dead, pressing silence. And then on his dresser, the watch. Except now, the hands were spinning rapidly in reverse. Jacob picked it up. It was cold, but as soon as he touched it, the bathroom light turned on by itself. Purr. He walked to the bathroom. Slowly, every nerve alert. In the mirror behind him was a tall figure. No eyes, no face, just shadows, standing completely still, and wearing the same silver watch on its wrist. Jacob screamed, "Bye." When he turned around, nothing was there. The next morning, the watch was gone again. This time for good. But every night at 3:15, the hallway light flickered, but the ticking returned. And the mirror, sometimes it shows to Jacob's, and one of them is still wearing the watch.